Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So, I wanted to talk about Terence Crawford and the possibility of him facing Adrien Broner. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think that fight's ever going to happen. And there's a few reasons why that fight won't happen. Let's go back a little bit. Think about Terence Crawford's last couple of wins. And we'll start with Victor Postal. After the Victor Postal win, what did he say? He said he's not afraid to fight anybody. He will fight anybody that's a champion at 140, right? Who are the other champions at 140? Ricky Burns, WBA champion. He already beat Ricky Burns, right? And then there's the IBF champion, Julius Ndogo, right? Or whatever the fuck his name is, some African brother. But that's the point I'm making. Terence Crawford said he wanted to clean out 140 before he moved up in weight to 147, because he is going to move up eventually. But he said he wanted to unify all the belts at 140. So think about the landscape, okay? Terence Crawford's the WBO champion. He's the WBC champion. He's the Lanil champion, Ring Magazine champion. There's only two motherfuckers left for him to fight if he's looking to unify the division, right? So where does Adrien Broner come in? You know, he's on the other side of the pond. He's not with Top Rank. You know, he's with Al Heyman. He's an Al Heyman guy, right? What did Adrien Broner... Okay, so Adrien Broner's... He had the WBA championship, right? And he beat Ashley Theopane. He lost his belt on the scales, right? He said he was moving to 147 and the motherfucker disappeared. And when he came back, I remember him saying, the first thing he was saying was he wanted to fight Ricky Burns. He said he would go over to the UK and fight Ricky Burns so he could get his belt back. But what happened with that? Because now Adrien Broner is going to be fighting Adrian Granados in February, right? Adrian Granados don't got a fucking belt. You know what I think? I think Adrien Broner knew the possibility of him facing Terence Crawford if he wanted to scoop that WBA belt from Ricky Burns. Because you got to keep the shit in perspective. Adrien Broner got 2 losses. He really can't afford another loss. And you know, to be honest with you, that Granados fight's going to be pretty hard for him. That's going to be a tough fight, in my opinion. You know, Granados he's going to give him a lot of pressure, man. So we'll see if Broner can get past that. But we're talking about Terence Crawford, right? Who wouldn't want to see this fight, right? I mean, on one hand, you got Terence Crawford, excellent boxing IQ, amazing fighter, very skilled fighter, has so many weapons in his arsenal, can switch from southpaw to, you can switch to fucking southpaw in the blink of a fucking eye, right? Orthodox southpaw. Shit's crazy. And he got power on both hands. Knockout power. He boxes well. Great legs. Then you got Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner's seen better days, right? But the shit talking before the fight, that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested to see if he can get in Terence Crawford's head. Because Terence Crawford got a mean streak, man. This motherfucker just went to jail for 50 days. For harassing some motherfuckers at a car dealership or some shit. Terence Crawford got a mean streak, man. He may be quiet, but that motherfucker don't give a fuck. He don't care. He don't care about shit. Adrien Broner don't care about shit either. But as far as I'm concerned, if these two dudes step foot in the ring together, Terence Crawford beats Adrien Broner. But I also think that a fight like this brings out the best in Adrien Broner. Now, like I said, I think Broner is scared to fight Terence Crawford. I don't think he wants those problems. Because this would be a 3rd loss. This kind of makes Adrien Broner, this puts him at gatekeeper status, really. I mean, yeah, Adrien Broner is always going to be a big name. But you can't keep losing fights, bruh. This ain't the UFC. You can't promote a motherfucker with all these damn losses unless you're Orlando Salido for whatever reason. A crash test dummy like him, you know. Adrien Broner's too flat-footed, man. He's not beating Terence Crawford, man. But it'd be an interesting fight. I'd like to see it, you know. But I think he's going to stay away from Terence Crawford at all costs. Even if he got to price himself out, he'll definitely price himself out of that fight. So, like I said, man, Broner was talking that shit like he wanted to fight Ricky Burns, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, right? And now he's fighting Adrien Granados. There's a reason for that, man. He don't want to fight Terence Crawford. I ain't heard this man mention his name. You know, to be honest, Adrien Broner is a bigger name than Terence Crawford. And if Terence Crawford beats Adrien Broner, you know, that helps his star power. So, I don't know why we're really talking about this shit, because it's not going to happen. The fight will not happen. So, y'all can keep making videos, but I want to throw my 2 cents out there, man, because, you know, a lot of people didn't mention that whole situation with Ricky Burns. And, I mean, Terence Crawford has been spelling this shit out for you. He said he wants to unify at 140, and he wants all the belt. He wants anyone who has a belt at 140. Plain and simple. Don't even bring up Errol Spence. Don't bring up anybody in 147. Don't bring up Pacquiao. None of that shit's happening. When Terence Crawford moves to 147, then we could talk about him fighting some of the welterweights, okay? Then maybe we could talk about him fighting Errol Spence. But I feel like by the time Terence Crawford moves up to 147, Spence will probably move to 154. So we won't probably want to get that fight either. So be honest with yourselves, man. Terence Crawford beats Adrien Broner any day of the week. Let me know what y'all think about that shit. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.